It's interesting. Like we're here to talk about, I guess, raising a child in a world where people are negotiating how they feel and the different pronouns and different genders. And what's interesting is I still strongly believe this impacts probably a smaller group of people, but because this the group of people, the demographic, they're so loud and they're very aware of what they want people to know. I think that's why it's beginning to impact a lot more people. I know for you, you have a very young daughter who's growing up in a world that is being shaped like this. So what's some of the conversations that like you and your husband have with her and her place in the world, I guess?
Yeah, so well, I mean, that's kind of something that we are still trying to navigate because one thing that we don't want is we do not want other people or a school system pushing a narrative on them. We have my husband and I, like, we don't know everything. We're not the Messiah. We're not God. We're not all is better. We're not almighty. Like, we get that, but we also know research. And like I said, me being an under or a graduate student trying to get my, my bachelor's in psychology and, counseling and stuff like that. That is something that really needs to be talked about at a home level. And there are so many people that are very progressive people, and I love it. I appreciate it. But like, we need to be progressive in, other matters. And, that it's like the people that are in my husband and I's opinion, and the people that are preaching that we're the wrong people or we're the bad people for allowing our kids to still go to school, and around the same people who are willing to teach them said quote unquote pronouns, whatever. They're the ones that are just like calling us the whatever names they like to call us, and just because we don't agree with it being taught in a public setting like that. Like, my husband and I, we are just very much not against it. We're very much pro our daughter having an open mind and learning what the life in the world is about, learning about things that are going to come across her that she may not understand. But my husband and I will give her all of the facts. I don't want a state curriculum to give her what they consider facts, because let's be honest, we live in the South, in the heart of the Bible Belt. You already know where that's going to go. So we want our daughter to have the accurate information before making choices. But at the same time, a lot of us really think that there is an age and a time and a place for that. And 9.5, 10-year olds, that's not it.
Yeah, that is
Like,
quite young when you think about it.
yeah. And they're really starting to push that on. Like, when I was my daughter's age and going into fifth grade, that's when they start teaching you about your body changes, not pronouns.
I wonder, and I was thinking about this because I was watching an interview today, and there's giving some stats that there's about like at least here in Canada, there's like 70 to 80% of the people they want to know what's being taught in the school, like the parents, they want to know what's being taught in the schools. They want to have maybe the option of understanding why this is being taught, and if they don't think it's appropriate for their child or if it's too controversial, they have the option to opt out. And I wonder if this would be something that's easier if they were to just say, hey, this is the curriculum from September to June, and the parents get to review it and understand what is being taught. And maybe they can make a decision versus a lot of parents are being caught off guard by what's being taught.
Yeah, and unfortunately, it's a good topic you brought up, because unfortunately here in the United States, it's very state dependent, and any state can do whatever they want, and the school education system is up to the governor of that state. So we're very 50-50 divided on that. And it's like they don't sit down and tell us what our kids are learning for the year. They'll send out a weekly thing, but at least where we live, at least our experience with our daughter, and it's like, I mean, basically the only way to shield them from that is by putting them in private school. And we did the private school route. It was not the best thing for us. And To me, I feel like that's something that needs to be talked about at a home level, because kids already have this expectation of, I have to go to school because I have to. So then if you're sitting there talking to them about information like that, then they automatically think, oh, well, I'm at school because I have to learn this, so that means I have to learn that. And that is, I think, where the divide comes. But that's where I get into the hypocritical people, because it's like those same people that are screaming equality are the same ones that are like, oh, we can't be doing this in the classroom, or vice versa. You know what I mean? And it's just like, it's like, I feel like you can't win here in the United States. No matter what we do, we can't win. And if you're in the Bible Belt, pardon my French, but you're screwed. Sorry. You're screwed 9 ways to Sunday. If you live in the Bible Belt, especially the heart of it, you are. Mm. And that's just kind of where it's lying. And a lot of us parents have correlated and come together and just been like, hey, we're going to teach our kids, and we don't really have a say on what this our school systems, at least in the state that I live in, we don't really have a say on what they learn. The only thing we can do is just know what's going on in the world and be aware of it, and just have those conversations with your children beforehand, because if they can form an opinion on it before someone tries to shove it down their throat, and in my opinion, I feel like that's better off. I am a pro-choice person, and I am pro thinking, pro do whatever you need to do, whatever you feel is right. But I just feel, I feel like if you don't talk to your children beforehand about the things that are so different in the world nowadays, you're going to come to weird forces of people that are cramming it down your throat and making you think that it's right. And then, what are you going to do with those people who go their whole life thinking that it's right, and then they realize it's wrong?